Welcome back. Hello. So this is part two, part two, part two. Yeah, we had a technical malfunction. So it turns out Mercury was retrograding, retrograding, here because I thought my stuff was plugged in, but obviously it wasn't. And I didn't even see that the battery was low and all this other kind of stuff. So it kind of just like went kapunk. It just kind of like shut off. So if you are tapping in, turning on, tuning in now, this is part two. There is a part one. Don't watch this part two because I'm going to kind of continue from where we left off. It's been hours since I was recording part one. A lot of life happened in between. So I do know that we kind of left off where I was talking about Saturn's energy in the mix. But either way, welcome. I am Enchantress the Babbler here for you. Yeah, so this is the realm where quantum meets metaphysics, right? Where energy dances with frequencies and vibrations, right? That we create, that we sing, this mystical upbring, right? And this mystical journey that here awaits all of us, right? It's here. So let me be your guide, right? So welcome to the world of Enchantress the Babbler. That's me on our evolutionary, revolutionary rise and high that is happening now, at this time, right, this is a safe haven where the wild unknown is not just explored, but it is celebrated, right? So join me as we cross the bridge. We're crossing the bridge of enlightenment, and a path that's both resourceful and divinely designed, right? So here guidance that is designed to inspire and motivate you in every kind of energetically, motivationally, inspirational kind of way, that is as enchanting as can be. You know what I mean? So I am a trance channeler, an intuitive healer, a mystic muse, right? An artist, divine, right? My calling is to help beautiful souls just like you. Um, Tap in, turn on, tune into their energy, frequency, vibration, unlocking sacred alchemy and divinity from within, right? So here we are, right? So we're stepping into this world. We're talking about the full moon in Cancer. This is part two of part one that got cut off abruptly. And so I'm going to continue from there, right? So we were talking about Saturn and how during this full moon, it's aligning with Saturn's energy. This full moon is, here we go, right? It's tongue-tied. To boom, boom, right? Sorry, forgive me, right? So during this full moon, it's aligning with Saturn's energy. Here we go. That's right, right? And it's about striking this balance, right? Between our deeply emotional states of being and processing these deeply emotional states of being into our lighthouse of aspects in our reality. So we were talking about, right, I think the holiday season and how it's not easy for us, especially, if we are purging, if we are evolutionary, if we are breaking patterns of behavior, cycles of, and we're creating cycles, new cycles of change and stuff like that, right? If we are the generational curse breakers of our lineage, right? Here. So there's a lot of like challenges that we are walking through, that we are rising out of, right, and stuff like that. And so this is about embracing the strong, heavier emotions and not letting them overshadow our experiences, right, by consciously, deciding to focus on joy during these times, right, and affirming that, heavier emotions will be addressed at their appropriate times, right, as we continuously learn to navigate and create healthy emotional rhythms in our own lives, right? So Saturn is strengthening, right? Our resolve, our commitment to our own intuition, right? Serving as our own inner compass, right? Guiding our way, guiding us away from needing or seeking external validations, right? And relying and learning to really trust in our own self-reliance, right? So this full moon is an opportune time to really explore our relationships with our own intuition. So that's pretty much, I think, where I don't recall, like, I'm just like, trying to reiterate a little bit where we were, but I know, I think it was about that, right? So yeah, so we're being pulled to really feel our intuition, feel its power, right? Heal its power. Heal our relationship to our own inner power with our intuition, right? Instead of ignoring it, right? So there's no more like, damn, I should have listened to what I was saying, thinking, feeling before. Like, damn, I knew. Like, none of that kicking yourself up in the ass, too. It's like, nah, I heard it and I followed it. I applied it. You know what I mean? Considering to learn how to trust our intuition, you know what I mean? Um, and so feelings, these feelings of empowerment, what they feel like, what does this alignment feel like, and emerging and submerging into it, right? And following this inner guidance and stuff like that. So um right, so here we are. So I like that. I like that, the change of the weather. So now we have Thoraz, which is about protection, right? It's protection, right? It's contemplation, it's luck, right? um it's and this here we have Othala, right, which is heirloom property traits, inheritance, right? Taking a gamble on that, the bigger picture, the unknowable, right? The things that we don't know. Hagalaz is coming up again, right? It's about that destruction. Hagalaz is falling on, again, in between destruction, natural disaster, hazard, drama, joy, happiness, harmony, and productivity, right? So the steps that we are taking to destroy that which does not serve, right? So this full moon in Cancer is like this invitation to really truly rejuvenate our energy and return to our state of authenticity, right? In every single kind of way. And what are our traits? What is this inheritance? What does that look like, feel like, taste like, smell like, right? So it's transcending logical reasoning, right? And dwelling in the realms of our emotions and our feelings, and being as true to ourselves as we can possibly be with this hidden knowledge, this fate, this destiny, right? So falling into, but we also have Thoraz, which is protected. So you're protected, you're divinely lit, guided, and protected during this changing season, right? During this changing season, you are divinely lit, guided, and protected, right? To nestle in on this release of your own emotions, right? And oh, that's what we were talking about too. I was talking about how, for one thing that I've learned, like, going to school for massage therapy, occupational therapy, and working with different bodies and stuff like that, is how we trap our emotions in our bodies, right? How we trap physical experiences from our lifetimes in our bodies, and really tapping in, turning on, tuning in to our relationship with our bodies too at this time. It's so important, right? So I think I described it as like a chiropractic experience, really getting realigned, recalibrating, and stuff like that, right? So this lunar phase is truly encouraging us to process all of this, but be gentle with ourselves as we unwind, as we recognize these suppressed emotions, right? That can manifest physically. So you might find that you've been sensitive around this full moon and stuff like that, like just a little extra, like, like I said, like crybaby-ish, but not crybaby-ish, but really sensitive to how you feel, but like be compassionate for real towards your stuff, right? Because our suppressed emotions manifest physically in our muscles and connective tissues, right? So, and that contributes significantly to our feelings of emotional entanglement and tension. Like, where you feel your tension at, where do you feel like, your body's tension, soreness, like, where does it hurt? You know what I mean? So engaging in like certain kind of yin. So I just came from yoga too, right? Well, not just, but I'm saying that was part of the couple of hours that I've been gone, right? And so yin yoga is kind of restorative, right? So engaging in a yin yoga type of practice during this period can be particularly like transformative too, right? Because it's unlike more um it's unlike oh, I can't talk. It it's not like more unlike more of the dynamic forms of like yoga. Yin yoga involves like longer holds, right? So it's like allowing yourself to really connect with that hold, right? Allowing for deeper release of both physical and emotional blockages, right? I didn't practice yin yoga today, but I'm always practicing stretch, right? So it's kind of like similar for me, yin yoga stretch, right? So it's kind of like the same because holding certain kind of poses, and so as you settle into each pose, right, your focus uh, your focus is deep, right? And you're also practicing mindful breathing, right? So this practice, it not only aids in maintaining mental clarity but also facilitates the process of letting go um of accumulation, right? Accumulated stress, right? And tension, right? So, I guess this is coming up for a reason. Like, whatever, I sweated it out. So here we go. We're talking about yoga again, but I'm just like, I feel like yin yoga is a great practice for this time of season, right? For release. So, you can use props, right? Such as like, blankets, bolsters, blocks, right? I was using blocks today in yoga, like, for certain kind of poses, holding certain kind of poses. Um, and things like that. So it's highly recommended, right? So because these tools provide physical comfort and support, which is important, and encourages a deep sense of relaxation and release and trust in the movement of the process that is happening for you at this moment in time and stuff like that. Right? So two, we have. Right, so Othala wants to come out and it's falling in between three. Othala, Dagas, and Ingwas, right? Masculine fertility, successful conclusion, hope, success, balance, increased prosperity, good health, heirloom, property, traits, inheritance, right? It's about this inheritance, it's about this protection. And that's with the influence too of Jupiter. And Jupiter, I believe, is retrograde, right? So it's intertwining with all these energies of this full moon. I think there's a few planets like retrograding. I don't, like whatever the case may be, it's just whatever's coming up intuitively. And then you have this um you have this rune here, Pethro, right? Pethro, right? Talk about the move, status, travel, change, right? It's taking a gamble on this move, on this status, on this change, right? Things that are unknowable to you because sometimes you're not supposed to know everything. You're not supposed to know everything. Sometimes we're meant to experience the something that we need. And Rado keeps coming out too. I think that's Rado, right? Rado, yeah, it looks like Rado, right? Sorry. And it's about making travel, it's taking movement, right, during the destruction, during the natural disaster, right, during the drama too. Needs not So focusing too on where your needs are not being met, right? Where are you hungry? We were talking about that in part one. So definitely, like, if you're here and you haven't watched part one, definitely go watch part one. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of messages over there too, right? So taking a gamble on having your needs met now. Where are you hungry? Right? What deployment of unemployment, of whatever the case may be, what rise in finances, what is your financial value at this time? How are you looking at these things? You know what I'm saying? And where's your placement in that, right? Because especially with Capricorn up in the mix, right? So this is just a great time, right? To really while Jupiter is retrograding too, right? You're beckoned to really introspect, right? To examine your emotions, right? That may be acting as certain kind of like barriers to your own personal growth and expansive potential, right? Because we all have potential, right? Doesn't mean we meet our potential, but if you're here, tapped in, turned on, tuned in, yeah, damn Skippy, you meet your potential, right? So that's good, especially if you can listen to my babbling, right? Because a lot of the times when it goes over people's heads, they're like, oh, I can't focus, right? Okay, it's not for you until you can, right? It takes a certain level of discipline, awareness, awakeness, awokeness, or whatever the fuck kind of thing, this, that, to really be here, to be here now. You know what I'm saying? So any kind of emotional attachments, right? Off that often anchor us, that keep us trapped in the past, right? That create these like invisible chains that hinder our progress and impede our ability to step fully into our power. That shit needs to be released. Right? These attachments, these like I'm like tongue tied. These like attachments, right? Woven into our being, right? We're recalibrating right now. We're releasing. right? Because they can manifest as a form of energetic resistance too, right? Against the very dreams and aspirations we yearn to realize. So what is cock blocking you? What are your needs not being met that you're overlooking? What needs to be shown in like what needs to not be ignored anymore? You know what I'm saying? What are your needs that are of value, of high financial value, of high currency value, of high energy frequency, vibration type value that you are stuck on, that you're not allowing to really release or make yourself have accountability for? There we go, have accountability for. So it's time to reflect on instances where you're tantalizing close to realizing your vision only to encounter this invisible barrier and cock block yourself. So it's like, now we're not doing that no more. So could the source of this impediment have been internal? Yes, it is. Right? There's a myriad of reasons why we might unconsciously obstruct the manifestation of our dreams, right? So fear of the unknown, fear of success, fear of outgrowing relationships, and even fear of losing our sense of self. These are all common emotional landscapes that can trap us within the confines of our own comfort zones. But sometimes we got to break those barriers, especially in intimacy, especially in love, especially when it comes to our career or our path or our purpose. Right? Staying in these familiar territories while comforting can also it's limiting. And it'll stir a multitude of emotions when we contemplate stepping beyond them. Damn, Skippy. What was that video that I had posted? Definitely watch all my freaking videos. The one that I show you of me jumping out the airplane, and I'm like, do it scared. It's not gonna get any less scary. Flying in the air is scary. But soar. You realize you could fly. Right? And our inability to heal from past wounds also stymies our growth. It stunts our growth. Right? And if we continue to pour energy into past, that's why pay attention to what you listen to, how you listen to, and who you listening to, who you taking advice from, and who you keep channeling into and tapping into. Like, people be stuck on the same stupid or the same like hurt over and over, talking about it again and again and again, the same traumas, the same grievances. They're like, oh, I don't mean to bring this up, or I'm a victim of this, or and when I was a child this happened, oh, my mother did this to me, my father did this to me. And I'm not lacking compassion. We can sit here and share sob stories. We can cry. We can cry about it. I have a fucking sad story too. I have sad stories. Right? And that was one thing. I think when I was young, one thing about my pride, I hated being introduced as the kid that lost their mother. So it over, like, my people pleasing over, and my joyful demeanor and all this other kind of stuff, and my clownish nature overshadowed my sadness, because the last thing I wanted to be perceived at was the sorry girl that I used to tell people, I don't want your pity. Like, I don't want your pity. So I, like, suffocated my trauma. I suffocated my story, my sad story that I could have made everybody fucking feel sorry for me for. And I fucking hid it. Aside from the people that will always constantly try to bring it up, that knew about it or all this other kind of stuff, I shut it down. I didn't want that to be my story anymore. So I stopped talking about it. And granted, it didn't solve the trauma from it, but it took me to another place. It took me to another vibration. It took me to a different frequency that eventually, over time, allowed me to travel the waters that I once left that I didn't know how to swim in, to then travel there and heal that trauma, deal with that feeling, and in a whole new set of light, energy, frequency, vibration, that it made traveling that past time much fucking easier. So sometimes you gotta shut it down. Sometimes you can't keep talking about it. Sometimes you don't need to bring it up. Not everybody needs to know your fucking sob story. And I don't mean to say it like that either. I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be real up in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times you gonna keep saying your mother did this to you? How many times you gonna keep saying your father did this to you? How many times you gonna keep saying the people around you did this to you? Oh fucking K, oh fucking well, get over it. And if you can't get over it, chuck it in the fucking bucket for right this moment in time, because you need a different energy, frequency, vibration to rise above it all. And trust that in divine right timing, not your fucking timing, divine right fucking timing, you'll be able to deal with that in a whole healthier, wealthier, stealthier way. But dealing with it in the toxic vibration that you stay in from the hurt space, place, and all this other kind of shit is not gonna fix it. It's not gonna make it go away. Let me rehash what happened to me again. Yes, there's a time and a place for all of that. Save it for your fucking therapist then. That doesn't need to, but sometimes people they don't know how to be anything else but that story. They're that story. So then you gotta ask yourself, am I this story? Do I want to stay here? Is this why I keep visiting this person that keeps talking about the same fucking story too? Like, people like to group together. Oh, victims are like all come together and we're gonna keep talking and sharing the same vibration. Birds of a feather flock fucking together. So be mindful about who you're tapping in, turning on, tuning into, because they might just keep you trapped in a vibration, energy, frequency that they don't even know how to fucking get out themselves. So be mindful of that. There's a deep fucking message there. Right? Because our inability to heal from the past stunts our fucking growth. And if you keep traveling with the people that don't know how to do that for you either, they keep talking about, you know it. Every single time you see them, every time you hear them, every time you watch them, they're talking about the same shit. Oh, this person. Oh, this hater. This chicka 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 boom boom. Same trapped vibration. Same trapped frequency. And many of them pass themselves as fucking motivational speakers, fucking people trying to help other people what stay trapped, like the fucking like the Israelites walking the same fucking path over and over and over and over and over in the same circle looking for fucking God. Meanwhile, they don't see shit. They lack gratitude too. How can you be grateful complaining? Make it make sense. I see a lot of godly people complaining all the fucking time. And they're talking about, but I'm love, I'm God, I'm this, I'm for this, and then they will fucking crucify a person that does it a different fucking way because it's not their way. Those are not God's people. That's the fucking devil in disguise. With a lot of devils within their own vibrations. You know what I'm saying? People that got to deal with their own fucking devils. So be mindful about the type of people that you're watching and seeking some type of advice from. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because lingering on past hurts, clinging to anger and resentment, you could hear it in their speech. You could see it in their life. You could see it in their body. And if they fail to release connections with individuals who are no longer part of their journey, you see it in the way they walk it, talk it, how they do it all. So anyways, moving on. Right? So this full moon's astrological dance includes an aspect with Saturn, right? And I debunked Saturn and Pisces, right? But I said Saturn is still in Aquarius, right? But Saturn and Pisces, Saturn and Aquarius, Saturn and Aquarius and Pisces, they're working together. So take it how you want. You can watch my Saturn debunked oh my god. I debunked Saturn in Pisces video and I explained it and I said why I feel it is this so, because everything in its explanation of even in Saturn and Pisces doesn't make sense for the time that we're in now, because we still are lost the people. By the time you reach the Saturn and Pisces energy, there's a healing that has taken place and a movement that has happened and a transformation that is quite evident. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's quite evident. And we're not there yet. So it only makes sense that it's still in Aquarius. But it doesn't mean Pisces and Aquarius are not the quirky couple that are put together to work through this shit. You know what I'm saying? So either way, watch my Saturn and Pisces debunked video to understand more about that. But wherein the sun forms the sextile, right? And stuff like that, and is trining the moon and stuff like that. Saturn really truly symbolizes responsibility, accountability, commitment to our responsibility and accountability, right? And with Pisces in the mix, right? And Aquarius in the mix, you got the visionary, right? But with Pisces coming into the mix, it adopts a gentler tone, right? Because healing is occurring. So it provides us, right, with the ability to form emotional boundaries, right, while channeling our feelings in a more directed and constructive manner. And Saturn's role during this full moon it's like stabilizing a life raft, right? Stabilizing a life raft in a tumultuous sea of emotions, because what is the sea anyways? It's our feelings, right? So this celestial alignment offers a supportive structure, right, that enables us to navigate our emotional depths with greatest clarity and purpose. And Saturn, as the ruling planet of Capricorn, right? Let's not forget that, because it's Capricornio season. So, like I said, depending on what you believe in and what you follow and all this other kind of stuff, in Western astrology, we're already in Capricorn season, right? But in Eastern astrology, I feel like, and I think it's still Sagittarius season. So Sagittarius and Capricorn, another quirky couple working together at this time. It plays a pivotal role in amplifying and balancing the emotional intensity of this full moon in Cancer. Got fire and earth and water. So its presence here encourages us to construct healthy emotional boundaries, right? So it's a lot. I know it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, you know? And I know that I get all fiery and passionate when I speak and stuff like that, but it's through love. It's the divine portal of love that I speak, because I believe that it's possible, but sometimes it's not so much the tough love that is needed, it's the truth that's needed. And sometimes it don't sound as pretty as we want to paint it out to be. You know what I'm saying? I get emotional, I know. Right? So we're creating these containers, right? We're akin to creating containers, right? Like, we're not creating containers in our lives to hold and manage our feelings. No, we're expressing them. No, we're living our truth, right? We're speaking our passions. And this process really involves us recognizing when we are becoming submerged in our emotions or suppressing them, right? So we're learning how to take proactive steps to ground ourselves in this reality, right? So Capricorn's here to help us with that. Saturn and Capricorn, right? Saturn is not in Capricorn, but I'm just saying Saturn is the ruling planet of Capricorn. Right? So engaging with nature, practicing yoga, right? Socializing with our friends, in healthy, wealthy, stealthy type ways. These can be effective strategies for maintaining emotional equilibrium. Writing, right? Drawing, coloring, right? Engaging in childlike activities. Fuck it, just do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for like Christmas too, like, one of the gifts we gave to my uncle was a paint by numbers, and he's like, "Oh my god, how did you know that I like we like this?" And it's because my daughter was the one that pointed that out when we were like looking around and shopping for gifts. She's like, "Theo paints," and I'm like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, he showed me stuff that he paints," and I'm like, "Really?" Like, you know, like that took me a little bit off, like, because I can't imagine my uncle painting. I never watched him paint all these years and stuff like that. So we got it. He fucking loved it. You know what I'm saying? Engaging in arts and craft activity, using, clay, using different forms of mediums to express yourself. Chalk, like, you know what I'm saying? Coloring, coloring pencils, crayons, markers, like paint, like, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a perfect pencil, sketch, markers. You know what I mean? It's vital to honor and hold space for our emotions and find the outlet of expression. And it's equally important, is our ability not to become so engulfed in them that we lose sight of our own path. You know what I'm saying? Mhm. Right. So definitely go check out my blog, enchantingbabble.blogspot.com. I shared the same blog on Enchanting Babble on Blogger, and I also shared it at enchantressthebabbler.com/blog. So this blog post is actually, it talks about um this full moon in Cancer and stuff like that, and I offer, like, affirmations there, and rituals that are so easy for you to do, and things like that, and I go a little bit more in detail about it and things like that. So you could definitely go check out enchantingbabble.blogspot.com, enchanting babble on Blogger, right? That's the same. Or at enchantressthebabbler.com. You can even sign up for free so you never miss a quantum beat. You know what I'm saying? So that way you could have the power of these videos, and also, like, the writing of it as well, right? I dive deep into um the full moon in Cancer and shit like that. Right? So I dive into that. You can have it in writing, you can have it in this visual, in this video. This is part two. Remember that there's part one. So don't watch one without the other. So I haven't used these cards on here in a little bit. They're old. Right, so here we go. The fourth house. Right. Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Cancer is the fourth house, right? I'm just so crazy. Don't mind me. Right. Like, what makes you feel secure? Yeah, that makes sense. Right? So working on that feeling, right? Right? And Leo, with that. Right? And what about your leadership, creativeness? Right? Okay. Mercury. So communicating your leadership as you did in the past, right? So when I think about that as you did in the past, I think about when we were children, before we were conditioned, like before we were um made to be shells of our own existence, kind of, right? Like, think about how bold you may have spoken as a kid, and maybe how reserved you might have become over the years. You know what I mean? Or like, just, so when you think about as you did in the past, right? Or tap into your ancestral history, tap into your lineage, tap into your soul path, right? Your soul journey, all the yous encompassing in this lifetime, right? Communicate with leadership as you did in the past, right? Analyze, right? Actually, I'm supposed to be reading it like this first. Because I haven't used these in a while. Sorry. We're gonna get back to that because I find like the orange is more solution based, and this poses the questions first. The blue, right? The emotional waters too. So Mercury and Leo in the fourth house, right? So the awareness of self-confidence to create what makes you feel secure. So yeah, you see what I mean? Like the other one is like kind of solution. This is kind of like bringing up what needs to be spoken, right? So the awareness of self-confidence, right? Your self-confidence in whatever arena is coming up for you at this time, in your emotions where you feel it the most, right? So this might even be love, this might be family, this might be intimacy, right? This, yes, it could be career based because we got Capricorn as the polar opposite of Cancer and all this kind of stuff, right? So in these spaces, in these places, the awareness of your own self-confidence confidence to create what makes you feel secure. So how are you securing that feeling, that intimacy? Are you speaking and expressing how it is that you truly feel? What is it that you truly want? Are you allowing yourself the opportunity to really go get what you want, right? To have what you dream of, right? Whether it's in intimacy, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in partnerships, whether it's in your career, right? So many thoughts about or from taking a chance on support, right? So thinking about your supportive alignment, right? And just taking a chance, taking a risk in the unknowables, taking a gamble, right? That and having faith in your fate. You know what I'm saying? So many words resulting from the impressiveness of your home base or family. So family is important right now, and what you are building, what are you creating? So, so maybe you didn't have the best upbringing or whatever the case, or maybe you did, or maybe you're creating your own in a unique way that does not match the same that of your upbringing and things like that. That is totally cool. That is totally great. That's breaking the cycles and the chains, right? This is what generational curse breakers are doing, right? They're creating their own sense of family and support and stuff like that. So what does that look like for you, right? What does that feel like for you? What does that taste like? What does that smell like? In all those kind of ways. Now we go back to this way, right? So learning to communicate your leadership, learning to communicate with leadership qualities, right? Just as you did in the past. So tapping and turning on, tuning into your childlike way, your boldness in that kind of way, right? Before taking center stage, right? Before somebody told you, no, 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 you can't do it that way. But like, get the fuck out my way. What are you talking about? And it doesn't have to be aggressive either, but I'm just saying that's the fire in me, right? So analyzing the creativeness of your home base or your family, right? Your unique qualities that make you unique to bring forth this unique family home base, this unique partnership, this unique intimate relationship that you have with a partner, with yourself, with your child, with with whomever you are creating this with, right? So let your mind tell you how to do what you want to and do what makes you feel secure, right? So learning to trust in the development of your own evolution, revolution, having and forging together and making these things as your solution, right? So we're creating that for ourselves now, right? So this is good. This is good. This is good. I like this, right? So I'm in harmony with the natural rhythms of the moon and my emotions, right? I gracefully release all that does not serve me, right? For my highest good. I'm deeply connected to my intuition and trust in its guidance, right? Every breath I take fills me with peace and serenity, right? With each full moon, I renew my commitment to my own personal growth. You know what I'm saying? I honor my feelings. I honor my feelings. I honor my feelings. And I trust my feelings. I honor my feelings as guides to my own deeper self awareness, right? So here we go, right? So Pluto, right? So Pluto's up in this mix, right? The need for control of what, right? So I lovingly release past traumas and I embrace a future of well-being. I attract relationships that are loving and supportive, right? I find strength and clarity in my own so look, Pluto in Cancer, right? So this is like a rebirth, right? This is like a transformation, a recalibration, right? I am grounded, stable, and secure, even amidst change, right? So here we are. I allow myself to feel and express my emotions freely. I am empowered by my emotions and use them for growth, for evolutionary growth. Right? I am a beacon of light and positivity in my own community, right? Within the unity within myself. Right? So I trust this journey of my soul and its unfolding path. Damn motherfucking straight, right? Um, yeah, so right? So fourth house again, right? Cancer, right? So the need for control of your intuition to protect what makes you feel secure. So this is coming up strong here, right? So the need for control of your intuition to protect what makes you feel secure. So the need of control of your own intuition to protect the need of control and the honesty, right? Too of the expression of you, right? So finding different outlets to help you to really honestly express yourself. If you were tuning in, tapping in, turning on, and you watch part one, then we were talking about the leveling of honesty that it takes in the communication of your emotions, right? So, and I was telling you about the video that I posted. I posted it here too, I think on YouTube, the little short video, but I don't think it shows you the description box. So definitely go check it out either on my blog, Enchanting Babble on Blogger, or on my TikTok, which is Alchemistic Poetess, right? So where, because in the description box it tells you it gives you the meaning of the cards. In YouTube you see the little video like where it says say communicate with love, right? The confession of love, right? Someone saying I love you, right? Maybe that's not easy for everybody. Maybe being in love is not easy for some people, right? Maybe being in an emotional intense relationship is not it's not easy for some people, or some people learn to be comfortable in the mundane and um just partners getting together and really not sharing how they feel, like, you know what I mean? So um but to protect what makes you feel secure, or like, or the security, like a lot of people in this new age, people are so concerned about their financial security that they don't want to risk um getting married because it might result in divorce, and then everything that they worked hard for, like they'll have to pay alimony or fucking child support or something like that, and things like that. So it's these fears, it's these things that prevent us from really truly embracing how we truly feel about someone, something, or the idea that we've been fixed upon, that just really doesn't match our heart base. You know what I'm saying? So an obsession with attitudes from the past about support. So if you're holding on to past traumas, you're holding on to your victimization, you're holding on to the hurt from hurt people, or the idea that, oh my gosh, every single time I give my heart, I fucking get it crushed, or something like that. If you're holding on and you're obsessed with the results from the past that have transformed your attitude, like, so you might be a romantic and now you might be cynical, like, you get what I mean? And so the obsession with holding on to these attitudes because of the experiences from your past, how does that ruin your now? How does that comfort your support? Like, so it's like, how do I break this pattern, this change? Like, how do I look at this in a whole different way other than the pain that it has caused me? You know what I'm saying? So it's a power struggle resulting from the history, right? That's what it says, from the history of this shit, right? I've been through it. I've been through it all. I've been through it all. Right, back against up the wall, shit was falling down off this, and I could write a song about this. Just like I use that beat, right? I've been going through it all. I'm making my own words though. I don't know the words of that, but your home base and your family, and that might have been what fucked it up for you from Jump Street. Your first home base and family might have fucked up the roots of what you are feeling, you're desiring now. So it's like you could be going through something like holding back your intimate emotions about how you feel about someone because of the results from the history of the past, and you're just like, no, 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 I can't. So it's like that jumping out of the plane moment. It's like you gotta do it scared. But you gotta keep it real with yourself. You gotta be real, right? So it's Pluto's the destruction, it's the reconstruction, it's the rebirth, right? It's the hidden, it's the unknowable, it's the mystery, right? It's the mystery that has to really, like, transmute the history. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, resurrecting, right, your feelings as you did in the past, right? So go back to that childhood innocence before life ruined it for you, right? When you believed in Santa Claus, when you believed in the Tooth Fairy, when you believed in the power of your own imagination before life fucked it up for you, go back and resurrect those feelings as you did in the past. because that's going to be the portal, that's going to be the gateway, that's going to be the dimensional existence that you want to be upon when you're calling in all of this into your now, right? So get to the heart of the attitudes from the past about your own home base or your family, right? Because it could be your attitude that's ruining and everything for you right now. It could be that bitter feeling of, like, like even with friendships, right? Like, nah, I can't trust people blah, 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 because blah, 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 blah. Let that shit go. Let that shit go. Oh, every single time I put myself out there, people just fucking, they act like they don't see. They act like they don't, like, even, like I'm talking about even like with myself, like, like when people want to like shade or hate or this and that, like, how do I get myself out of that energy of seeing that first? Because that's the experience. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, you can't see it from that. You got to see the good in it all because of who you are and what you are and everything that you are, and that vibration, that energy, that frequency vibration that you are and your being, and that you're transmitting into the fucking universe. You're going to draw that shit in, but you're going to have to learn to really focus on the joy, no matter what it is, or the good, no matter what the attitude is from the past. Right? It's gonna, like, that chuck it in the fuck it bucket. I gotta put that over there. Because right now I'm not equipped to handle that fuck shit. Right? So, but I'm tapped into the resurrection of my feelings as I did in the past, my childlike wonder. Right? So look, it's do or die, but you must use your intuition and do what makes you feel secure. Period. Right? Right? You could even do like a moon water ritual. I spoke about this in my blog. So definitely, and there's like 5 or 6. I think I did 5 rituals that you can do with what you have right now. But one of them was the moon water ritual, right? So all you need is like a clear jar. I love to use glass. Glass is like the material that I use for a lot of stuff. I don't like plastic and all this other kind of stuff. I use glass, wood, certain kinds of woods, like, not fake wood or anything like that, but like, nature kind of woods, bamboo, like, things like that. But what glass for this is good, right? A clear jar, right? Water, right? A piece of paper and a pen, that's all you fucking need. Right? So you fill the jar with water, right? You write down an intention or a wish on the paper. I love to use parchment paper. Materials are important, like, you know what I mean? But if you don't have parchment paper, you don't need parchment paper. You know what I'm saying? You could even do construction paper and pick a color paper that fits the emotion that you are writing upon. Like, you can use your imagination here. There's no right or wrong way. It's your way, but it's with purpose that you're filling these pages, right? So the intention, you write your intention, your wish on this paper, and you place it under the jar. Right? Leave the jar under the full moon overnight, right? Allowing the moon's energy to infuse the water, right? And the next day you could use the moon water for drinking, right? Um, for watering plants or as a cleansing bath, visualizing your intention manifesting with each use. You use it at a rinse, a facial rinse or whatever, depending on what kind of water you use. Don't use tap water then. You know what I mean? Like, you can make a little rose water, whatever you want to do. Like, anyways, but you could definitely go check out my blog because I have other rituals that you can do. Something so simple like that. You have all those materials. You have a jar, right? You have a bottle. If you don't have a glass jar, then use a fucking bottle. I'm saying I prefer glass. You don't have to do like what I do. You could do what you do. If you use a plastic bottle, if that's what you got, use what you got. And then you work your way up to get the glass thing the next time around. You got water, no matter what type of water. You got a piece of paper. I hope you got a piece of paper. You got a pen, pencil. You write it in pencil. Pencil's powerful. Pencil's powerful. I'm gonna do a video about that too. Pencil is powerful. You know what I mean? It's up to you. Let me see. All right, we'll pull a few more of different messages and then I gotta go. You know what I mean? Um, right. So what am I grateful for right now? What am I grateful for right now? Right now, I am grateful for the ability to be able to record videos for you guys, right? To be able to do this, right? I'm grateful for the opportunities that I have every single day in so many different ways. I'm grateful for the love that I receive on a daily basis. I'm grateful for the love that I give on a daily basis. I'm grateful for these cards that I have right now to be able to use as a divination tool here, right, for these videos. I'm grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful for everything that I have, for everything that I'm going to receive. I'm grateful for all the lessons learned in my life. Even if they've caused me pain, I'm grateful for it every single day. I'm grateful for the friendships that I have, the love that I have, the child that I have, the money that I get, the money that I make, the money that I receive, the gifts that I receive, the gifts that I give, the family that I have, the animals that I have, the animals that I meet, the animals that I journey with, the dreams that I receive, the visions that I have, the psychicness that I have, the claripotency that I have. I'm so fucking grateful for it. Right? So what am I grateful for right now? Adopt an abundance mindset. Gratitude is the antidote to all your problems. It is impossible to be fearful and grateful at the same time. Gratitude improves our health, opens our heart, and changes our state. Today's soul action. The universal law of attraction says that we attract into our lives that on which we are focused. Close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, and think of 3 things for which you are grateful for today. Notice the abundance growing within you. What else? What else do we got here? What other soul truths do we have? Right? Am I focused on what I am losing or gaining? Okay. Are you going through some change? Are you scared to let go because of what you might lose? What if you shifted your focus from what you might lose to what you might gain? Endings are actually new beginnings. Today's soul action. Today, make a list of all the things you will gain from the change you are going through. Feel your heart, take a breath, and deepen into trust. Amazing things are coming. All right? Amazing things are coming. I love that. Here we go. Where can I create more space? Okay. Instead of filling yourself up with busy work and things to do, create more sacred space in your schedule, in your home, in your mind, your lungs, and in your heart. Take time to just be. Do a clutter detox of your schedule, home, and innermost self. Make space. Clarity will come. What is the most limiting belief keeping me from what I want right now? Right? What story are you telling yourself? When you think about your dreams, what is the first limiting thought that comes to your mind? Write it down, burn it, right? If you are not living the life you desire, it's because a part of you doesn't believe it's possible. It's time to upgrade. Look your belief in the eye. Where did it come from? What new belief are you ready to adopt in its place? How will this change your results? Remember, your belief is the root of your results. Own it, heal it, upgrade it. And I'm going to leave you all with that. So I hope that these videos were good for you. It's 2 videos today, right? Because how to know when people have cats? Look at their hands. We love them that much that we play with them, okay? Definitely. Um, Thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in. Make sure to like this video. Definitely go check out my other platforms and things like that. Show your love. Give your support. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. And so again, you can find me on Instagram at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS. You can find me here on YouTube at Enchantress Thee Babbler. That's me. Subscribe to my channel. Help me grow my channel. Thank you so much. You can find me on TikTok, Alchemistic Poetess. You can find me on my website, enchantressthebabbler.com. You can also find me on Blogger, Enchanting Babble on Blogger, enchantingbabble.blogspot.com. Bye. Till next time.